In this video, we are going to see some of the frequently asked Python programming questions asked in Wilmy M3 Round 1 assessment test. This is the first question they have asked in Python, and also this question is asked in Java too. Let we discuss the Java in another video. First, they have given the input one and its output. The basic explanation of this program is, if the input contains any alphabets, then the output should be written like false. Otherwise, it returns true. Let's take an example of input 1, where input 1 has 8468. Input 1 has 8. This is the input 1, 8468. So output is true. Input 2 has ABCD. The output is false because it contains alphabets. Whereas input 3 contains both alphabets and numbers. So the output is false. If the input contains only the numbers, then output should be true. Else the output should be false. Now let me code for this program. First, in order to get input, we want to use a variable. I am just using the now input will be stored in A. I am getting input as a string because it contains both alphabets and numbers. So I am getting input in numbers. Input in string. Now let me check the condition here. If A dot is alpha, then it should print false. If A dot is all num, then it should print false. Here else it should print true. This is the logic for our code. First, input will be taken by A, and isAlpha method will be checking whether the input contains any alphabets. If it contains alphabets, then output will be false. Then if first if condition fails, then it comes to second elif condition, and it checks A is all num. All num is a function which is used to check whether the input contains both numbers and alphabets. If contains both numbers and alphabets, then output should be false. If it fails in both the condition, that means input does not have any alphabets and it does not have any alphabets and numbers. If it contains only the digits, then it will print true. This is the logic behind this program. Now let me run and see what will be the output. Here we should give an input here. I am just giving A, B, C, D, E. Now output is false because it contains alphabets. But now let me try with another code. Now let me give only the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. For numbers also it's throwing false. Because this doesn't work here, we can use digit. If it's contain digit, then true. One, two, three, four, five. Now it working right. Now let me try other input like A, B, C, D, E. Now it gives false. Now let me give A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 contains both alphabets and numbers, but it's throwing true. Here we should give false. Now let me give for this A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Now it gives false. Now let me check the test cases given in the question. Now let me go to our question. The first test case is 8468 input. The output should be true. (8468), the output should be true. Successfully executed the first test case. Now let me give second input. Second input is like A, B, C, D. The output should be false. Input is A, B, C, D. The output should be false. Second test case also successfully executed. Now let me check the other test case. The third input is A4, E5, B8. Input is A4, B5, E8. This is the input. Now let's check. It gives false. The output should be false. Now our code executed successfully for all the test cases they have given in the question. You can use this logic to build the program. Now let me check the second question. Now let me check the second question. The second question they have given is input contains some of the sentence and you want to find, and the output should be like the input itself. That means the input is the quick brown fox. The output should be the input itself. That means the quick brown fox, and we want to give two additional outputs. That means uppercase characters count and lowercase characters count. Now let me check the uppercase characters. There are how many uppercase characters? Let me check. There are B, capital B, capital F, capital B, capital F, and capital T. There are 3 uppercase characters and remaining are lowercase characters, and remaining are 13 lowercase characters. Here the spaces are not counted as a character, so you should not count the spaces. You should count only the alphabets here. This is the input and output and the basic explanation of the program. Now let me do coding in Python. Let me comment this. Let me delete this. Now let me start our new coding. Let's take again take A is equal to input. A will take the string as the input here. After that, we will be iterating into a string using for loop. If I not equal to space, this indicates that that means we should not consider the spaces in the string, so in the sentence, so we included I is not equal to space and I dot is upper. Now let me For counting uppercase, I used a variable u, and for counting lowercase, I am using the variable l. If the character is not equal to space and it is upper, then we should increment the uppercase. I am incrementing the uppercase variable. If again I am else if I not equal to space and I is lower, then we should increment the lowercase variable, and at last we should print our output. The output should be like the input itself, then it should contain print of, let's see how the sentence will be like, uppercase characters, uppercase characters plus str of a, str of u. U contains the count of uppercase, right? Uppercase characters, right? So I am using u. Print of lowercase characters plus str of l. L contains the count of lowercase. Now let me explain the code, how it works. First of all, the input will be stored in variable called a, and I am initializing u with 0 and l with 0 because I am going to count the number of uppercase characters and the number of lowercase characters. After that, I am using for loop to iterate through the input sentence, that is through a, and reading each and every characters in the sentence, and I am giving some conditions here. If I not equal to space, because we should not consider the space, so I not equal to space, and I dot isupper, this isupper function returns true if the character is upper, and if both conditions are satisfied, the count of uppercase will be incremented. Else if I is not equal to space and I is lower is a function which gives true if the character is lowercase, and if the condition is true, then it will be incrementing the lowercase count, that means l plus equal to 1. Now at last we are printing the input itself and printing uppercase characters plus str of u. This str of u is used to convert this length, the integer to string, so we can able to print like a entire string. So after that, lowercase characters count will be printed like this. Now let me run our code and check the output here. Now let me run the code. Here I am giving our own input will be given here. Apple is a fruit. Here the output will be returned. Output is returned as it is, and the uppercase characters are 2. Let's check the number of uppercase characters. Here the uppercase characters are capital A and capital P. So number of count is 2. And let me check the number of lowercase characters. The lowercase characters are small p 1, 2, 3, p, l, e 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And giving 11 number of lowercase characters. Thus our logic works fine. Now let me give the input according to the question. They have given the quick brown fox. Let's check the let me give the input here. The quick, let me run the code. The quick brown fox. Here the output is the quick brown fox. Uppercase characters 3 and lowercase characters 13. Now let me check the output. Uppercase characters 3, lowercase characters 13. Our code works fine here. Now let me jump into another code. This is the another code. They will be asking, they will be giving input 9. 9 indicates the length of the numbers the user gives, and output should be in the form of sorted order. That means in the form of ascending order. Here the input is the size of array is 9, and they given a 14, 46, 41, 27, 57, 41, 45, 21, and 70. But the output will be in the form of ascending order. We want to do this. That means this program is like sorting the array. Now let me do this code in Python. Now let me erase this code and let me do our new code. First we want to get the integer. That means it indicates the length of the array, length of number of inputs getting from the user. Then I am creating an empty array for collecting the inputs from the user for I in range of a. This indicates, for I in range of a indicates the number of input that user can get. The user can get here. Now now let me append every integer into the B array int of input. This line will be used to get the each and every value for a number of times from the user, and it will be appended into B array. Now we will be sorting the array by b dot sort, and we will be printing the output. This is very simple to sort. Now let me run our code. They have given invalid syntax like this. Clear. Here they have happened some invalid syntax they have given, like int of input, int of input for I in range of a. In line 1 pandas data frame control F8. Now let we give our input here. The length will be like 3. Let we give 3 inputs. I am giving 45, 32, 56. Now the output will be in the form of ascending order. 32 will be first, 45 and 56. This is in the form of ascending order. Now let me give our input based on the input given in the question. The size is 9 and the inputs are 14, 46, 43, the size is, now let me note here, let me note the inputs here. 9, the size of array is 9, and 14, 46, 43, 27. 14, 46, 43, 27, 57, 41, 45. 57, 41, 45, 21 and 70, 21 and 70. Now let we give the input based on the question here. It's actually throwing error. I am giving control F5. Now it works fine. In line, yes. We should give like this for single line command. Control F5. Now let we give a length of array. Length is 9. 14, 46, 43, 27, 57, 41, 45, 21, 70. Then the output would be like 41, 21, 27, 41, 43, 45, 46, 57 and 70. 14, 21, 27, 41, 43, 45, 46, 57 and 70. Our code works fine. Now let we go to the next program. This is our program. The explanation for this is there will be giving two inputs, and we should let's take a input like A and B, and we should find whether B is the last digits of input A. If it is not, we should print no, else we should print yes. Let me explain this more in a briefly manner. Now let we take input. Let we take two inputs. I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is A. Now let me take the another input. 4, 5, 6. It is B. This is the input. We can see that 4, 5, 6 is the last digit of A. So the output should be yes. Let me give another test case. Now let's take an input as 4, 5, 2, 3 as A. Then 1, 2, 3, 5 as B. Here 1, 2, 3, 5 is not the last digit of A, so the output will be no. This is the explanation of this question. Now let we do coding for this question. Here we want to take two inputs. Two inputs is of integers. So A is equal to int of input. B is equal to int of input. Now we want to find the length of B. This can be done by T is equal to len of str of B. We can't able to find the length of integer. We can able to find, but it takes more lines of code. But we can convert B into string. After converting string, we can able to find the length. So I done in this manner. So the number of lines will be reduced here. Here T will be containing the length of B. Now I am going to get. Now I am going to get check the conditions here. If A modulus of power of 10 comma T. it should be int. Sometimes it returns in the form of float, so I'm converting it to int converting it to int. If a modulus of this is equal to b, then it should print yes. Else it should print no. Showing error here. Let me run Control F5. Here let me give an input like 1 2 3 4 5 6 4 5 6. Yes, here 4 5 6 is the last digit of 1 2 3 4 5 6, so the output is yes. Now let me check the another example. Here first input is like 4 5 2 3. The second input is like 1 2 3 5. No. Yes, 1 2 3 5 is not an last digits of a, so it prints no. Thus our program works finely in a logical manner. Now let me explain how this works. First, it will be a will be storing the value of first input and b will be storing the value of second input. Both are integers here, and I am taking the length of b number of digits, that means length of b will be stored in t. Now I am finding the remainder of a. Let's take an example. Here the length of b is 3. I am getting the last 3 digits. Last 3 digit can be taken by using modulus of 1000. If you want to get last digit 6, then you want to a modulus of 10, you can get 6. If 100, you can get 56. If 1000, you can get 456. If 10,000, you can able to get 3 4 5 6. This is the basic working of this line. Let's take an example of 4 5 6. Now the length will be of 3, and 10 power 3 is 1000. Now a modulus of, that means a modulus of 1000 will give 456. Now 456 will be equal to 456, then it will print yes. This is the explanation of this code. Now let me check the output for the given example in the question. They have given 4 5 3 4 5 5 4 5 4 3 4 5 5 4. Five, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4. The another input is 5, 4, 3. Output is no, I think no. Output is no. Let's take the second example. The second example given here is 1 2 3 4. That's it, and the output is yes. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Output is yes. Now let me check for this thing. Control F5. Control F5. Now let me give input here. First input 5 4 3 4 5 5 4. First input. Second input 5 4 3 5 4 3, and output should be no. It gives correct output no. Now let me run our code. Control F5. Now the second input is 1 2 3 4. And the second input is 1 2 3 4. Output should be yes. it works fine. That means our logic works fine here. Now let me jump into another question. That's it. These are some of the frequently asked Python questions, Python programming questions in Wilmy M3 assessment round. If possible, I can post programming questions for Java 2 in upcoming videos. You can follow me in Telegram. Telegram link is given in the description. You can follow me via the link. All the best for your preparation.